What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Espresso, and welcome back to another video here today on the channel. In this one, we're going to be taking a look at Black Ops 3 a little bit, more specifically zombies, and something that has been brought to the mainstream in terms of news and information for zombies as a whole, and something that has really just got some people scratching their heads, a little bit baffled, and it's something that I personally might be a little bit late to the party, but thanks to the college world, the real life, and everyday things, this kind of got away from me yesterday. But today we're going to be talking about what a lot of people are calling an Origins and Ascension remastered in Black Ops 3. Now, this is something that right off the rip that sounds really weird to say, because Origins did have their own little section within Revelations, the final DLC map pack, so why would it come back in its entirety as something that is, say, a DLC map in the near future? Well, that's the big question here with this. Why is it something that is kind of replicated within this? But all this stems off of some recent data files that were data mined and dealt specifically with Ascension and Origins. Now, as we know, within the last week, there was a major patch to Black Ops 3, and something that at the very point in time people thought maybe it's just weapons, but it was something a little bit more on the side of not necessarily hefty, but there was a lot of empty space, if you want to put it that way. Some things that really weren't detailed in the full regards of what we might usually see with a patch of that size. It was a little bit bigger than the normal patch for weapons and some standard housekeeping issues. Some things may be attributed to the fact that the PS4 Pro got some updates for that so that Black Ops 3 could run better on the PS4 Pro, but there was still overall just a big chunk of stuff that you're just like, what is this data being used for? What am I installing this half extra gig for? And well, it turned out that a lot of this stuff was some extra added things within the code. Not all of this obviously going directly to Ascension as well as Origins in the zombies game files, but there were a lot of different scripts and a lot of different assets added in for ZM_Ori and ZM_ASC, which designate to the respective Origins as well as Ascension game files. Now, included with some textures within this, just some things that are just general housekeeping things, like the very bare minimum things, nothing that takes up too much, just the random scripts here within this. There were specific schematics added into this that can be found in the Origins starting room back in Black Ops 2, but the ones that were added in are a lot more high quality, a lot more precise. There's no creases in them like there are in the original game files. There's a lot more detail and some different tearing on the pages themselves, so the files have been changed around. They're not the originals just ported up. But where this gets confusing is to why they're in there in the first place, because sure, you can knock it off that Revelations has parts of Origins in it, but Origins, the starting room where these assets are actually found, are not really in the Revelations part. I guess you could see where the lander is, that maybe that is the portion of the starting room that it would be in, but to me it just seems unlikely and still doesn't answer a lot of questions that we'll get to here in a second. But if you guys want to check these out for yourselves and maybe compare them to that of the starting room where the table is at the very beginning of Black Ops 2 in the starting room there of Origins, this is something you can compare and contrast. I can't put the images up on screen right now, but I'll leave the links down there in the description below for you guys to check out. And once again, Origins could be something that you might just be able to pawn off as, say, it's Revelations, but why are these things being updated and added in now, something that you wouldn't see in the Origins portions of Revelations? Why are they being added in after the fact? And then also, why is Ascension being played with at all? These files have been around now for a little bit of time. We keep getting more added in as the month goes on. Why is Ascension even brought up in Black Ops 3 to begin with? I can understand where people might say, well, it's leftover code from Black Ops 1 that was carried over into Black Ops 2, which was carried over into Black Ops 3 subsequently, but why now are there still more Ascension files being added in after the fact? That's the big thing that I think is the kicker here. And then if you want to throw this in additionally with the fact that we also have some altered loading screens for different maps, that being the Giant, Nuketown, Moon, and Ascension. All of these have had their loading screens at some point in time during the past year or year and a half leading up to the launch of Black Ops 3, additionally with the Giant. Those were all something that were tampered with and changed a little bit around, and something that to this day we still don't necessarily know exactly why they happened. The Giant obviously was tampered a little bit because we got a air quote remastered version of that in terms of the Giant. That was something that Doris, the original, was played around with that loading screen, but Nuketown, Moon, and Ascension are are still big question marks, and now with the addition of even more things with the Origins files, it's just really interesting to see where this would be coming from, why this would be the case, and what this could mean for content moving forward. Now, I don't necessarily want to say and jump to the conclusion of DLC 5, a Resurrection 2.0, because that to me just seems too good to be true, and while I'd love to see it, I'm not entirely sure if that will happen, but perhaps we get one map released at a time here over the next couple of months. A lot of fans will definitely be very upset if the whole thing that Treyarch made a specific live stream for before Christmas time, if that was only for more DLC weapons coming and supply drops. That's something that, as a fan of not only Treyarch and Black Ops 3, I would be super bummed out about, honestly. I love the idea of new weapons, but not when they're behind a paywall like that. I feel like when you make something that much of a bold statement, we're continuing content throughout 2017, you gotta have something more lined up here. So what that could in fact mean, I don't necessarily know, but perhaps with these more additions to game files in the way of Ascension, Origins, and also the alterations that we've still yet to see actually explained in the Zombies universe for Moon, Ascension, and Nuketown, additionally with the Giant, which has already been explained, I'd love to see what this actually means for potentially DLC coming in the future. But all in all, that is what we have here right now. Once again, the most recent update to Black Ops 3 gave way to some interesting files, to put it lightly. I think that this is something that we should definitely keep our eye on, especially with the fact that we have these other things that hint towards maybe a remaster, a remake, or something like this coming in the near future, with the Ascension loading screen, the Moon loading screen, and the Nuketown loading screen. All these are rather interesting, and why there has been no answer to them, and why we seemingly get some things that are completely arbitrary added into the game files at this point in time. But that's gonna wrap it up. I would love to hear your thoughts down there in the comment section down below. What do you guys think of this? Are you guys a fan of the idea of bringing back some of these maps from Black Ops 3 to bring them up to speed with Black Ops 3's graphics, to play them on your current consoles? Whatever it may be, I'd love to hear your thoughts down there in the comment section down below. Good, bad, what do you think it is? If you guys enjoyed the video though, drop a like down below, and of course if you guys are new to the channel, maybe consider subscribing to stay up to date with everything Black Ops 3, Modern Warfare Remastered, COD 2017, and Infinite Warfare. And if you guys want to follow me over on Twitter, that is the best place to get connected with me here outside of YouTube. I practically live on Twitter, so if you guys want to strike up a conversation, ask me a question, whatever it may be, link is down there in the description below if you want to toss a follow. But finally, if you guys want to check out either of the two videos on screen right now, one will take you to some Easter eggs you might not know about Black Ops 3 a year later, and one that I believe is the best weapon in Modern Warfare Remastered at this very point in time. So hopefully you guys enjoy. Maybe check those videos out if they interest you at all. But thank you dudes so much for watching. My name is Nikolai Espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care and peace.